Hey guys, it's Kieran back with another video, and today it's still going to be a little while before the next few videos are ready. So in the meantime, I decided to start this interview series, which will hopefully help a lot of you or just be something really cool to watch. So without further ado, welcome to the first interview of Beyond the Vids. So today I'm interviewing BliX from the channel BlixBurst.
Woohoo!
He has been on YouTube for a while.
I have since 2019. Actually before that, but I started my Beyblade channel in 2019. I have an upcoming Beyblade X series. If you guys want to look forward to that, I have very big plans for it. Most of the stuff in that series will be stuff that I've never done before. I've also gotten like so much better at writing stories and developing characters since Beyblade Burst Prime. Even though that ended at the beginning of this year, the whole story of season 6 was written 2 years before that. And I really want as many people as possible to witness what I've been cooking up.
It's always exciting seeing people's work after like a long time because you know they've improved a lot.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What is your favorite Beyblade from each gen?
Okay, Bakugan Shoot, it's probably just gonna be automatically any Dronzer just because I love Kai. Probably Dronzer GT just because I think it's the coolest looking one. The only Dronzer I own is the X remake, so I can't base anything off of like performance. It's the coolest looking one in my opinion. Metal Fight, probably either Medio El Drago or Diablo Nemesis.
Yeah.
Just because like I'm a sucker for very overpowered Beyblades and they both had so much aura in the anime.
Some of the best fights in the anime too.
Anytime Ryuga was battling, you just knew it was gonna be peak.
Yeah.
Dude, if I had a budget, oh my gosh, the type of shit I would make the antagonists do.
Yeah.
I'd do some wacky stuff. First, honestly, I think it's the easiest choice for me. I don't think it's ever gonna change. Spriggan Requiem. It holds such a special place in my heart. Shu and Free are my favorite characters, so it's gonna be a Spriggan or a Fafnir. And I think Spriggan Requiem, like, when that Beyblade came out, that was like the peak.
Just like all releases, it felt like.
Yes, like the whole community, the whole Beyblade community was united to just glaze Spriggan, and it was amazing.
Yeah, any friend I had who was like into Beyblade Burst at the time had Spriggan Requiem.
Yes,
like everyone bought that.
It was the Beyblade to have.
If anybody had anything, it was that.
For X, I want to say like a Drake or Dragoon or a Phoenix. Cobalt Dragoon and Phoenix Wing. My favorite color is red, so Phoenix Wing.
Is Cobalt Dragoon your favorite of the line? I feel like it kind of like varies a lot.
Yeah, it probably is. I love left spin so much.
I remember I had El Drago Destructor.
That's the only El Drago I have too.
That was literally one of my first Beyblades of all time.
The only Metal 5 bays I have left are just 4D, that's it.
So moving on, why did you start Beytubing? What was your inspiration? Or what have been your past inspirations?
The reason I got into Beyblade was because of my 5th grade friend group. And then I wanted to start a Beyblade YouTube channel because of Left Burst. And then I became obsessed with Beyblade because of Left Burst, and I got so deep down the rabbit hole, I discovered Epic Blader TV, and that was like the first live action Beyblade series.
And then he just disappeared.
His channel got terminated, and he just gave up and stopped trying to get
I remember
it back.
he did a video talking about it, but even that got deleted too. But no, same. That was kind of like the only other guy doing it when I started as well.
I'm pretty sure it was called like Beyblade Origins, and then the evolution was Beyblade Origins X. The writing or anything, it wasn't even that crazy. Like, it wasn't even like a super good series, but they for its time.
Yeah, it had like some really funny side characters, I remember.
Yeah, the guy who had Neptune or Nepstrius.
Yes. What's his name? Is it Neppy Namazaki or something?
I think it was Neppy, yeah.
Yeah. So my first few videos, I got a bunch of people saying that like the character Toilet Guy was so similar to him. The first episode I had him, it wasn't like that. Like I hadn't actually watched his videos, but after that I did kind of like change his character a little bit to be closer to that because I just found it so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I remember the owner of Spryzen, his name was Matthew, and that was like the actual creator of the series is I remember like watching Matthew get like a letter in the mail or something, and then he like
Yeah.
walk down the street, and then the next episode he had like some shitty mask. He like changed his voice to be like, no. The acting was so bad.
At the time, it was like the craziest thing ever.
Dude, at the time, I idolized that series.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to make a Beyblade series of my own. Like,
Yeah.
part of the reason I tried to get Connor into Beyblade so hard was so I would have someone to make a series with, because I knew I couldn't do it by myself.
What is your favorite video you have ever made on your channel?
I feel like just because of like the sentimental value, it's gotta be either Unite episode 1 or the Prime finale, because it's like the beginning and end of Connor and I's like very long journey. When me and Connor filmed the first episode of Unite, the most we expected to make it to was maybe season 2. If you had told us that it would have gone into 2025 and that I would have like 4,000 subscribers that year too, I would laugh at you. Because me and Connor, like, we filmed like a whole first season, and then once the second season came out, I started getting more and more attention because his name at the time was Beyblade Boss NZ. He gave me a shout out, and at the time he was a much bigger channel than me. That's when people started coming around to my series and taking it seriously. It made Connor and I take our series more seriously. Here we are. We made 6 seasons, and now there's a 4th generation version of it coming out soon.
You never think you're gonna get as far as you do until like you have the support.
The support literally
motivation.
means everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the support, I don't think like Beyblade Burst Supreme would have become a thing. I think it would have just ended at Unite.
I mean, another factor is like the hype around whatever new releases there is. That factors in a lot too.
It does, because there are times where like I hit a roadblock in writing and I'm like, I start to become uninterested in my own story that I'm writing, and then the newest Beyblade gets announced and I fall in love with it, and I'm like, oh, I have to make the owner of this Beyblade like super cool, and I have to make him really important to the story. That's how it was. Like, that happened several times when I was writing the story for the X series.
It's just the possibilities of what you could do. What media really has influenced like your style or your I don't know, video making process over the years? Like any shows, movies?
I didn't have very many influences other than like the actual Beyblade Burst anime for the Burst series. I have had several influences for writing the X series. Fairy Tail, Jujutsu Kaisen, Gacha Yakuta, a little bit of Solo Leveling. I would say that's like most of them, or at least like the most important ones.
I always wonder that, you know, because it's like, you know, everybody has influences on anything they make, right?
It's so cool how influence creates new things, and then that new thing influences new things, and it's just like a never-ending cycle.
Who knows how many people like your series have influenced, you know?
Your like favorite piece of fiction may not exist if the creator wasn't influenced by other things.
What does your production process look like for a new video?
If it's a regular video, it's 90% of the time just in shot, unless I need like a specific sound effect or voice effect on my voice that I can't access from in shot, and then I go to CapCut. For episodes, especially for Prime, it is mostly just in shot and CapCut. I do in-shot for splicing, green screen, audio, and like the scene organization and all that. And then I do CapCut for the voice effects and the visual effects.
Do you writing down notes, whatever, to get things ready to be able to film?
I had like a very short book of like maybe 11 or 12 pages of paper where I would draw like a short comic of like how I wanted certain characters to launch. In the Burst series, I wanted every character, like in the Burst anime, to have their own launch that's unique to them. And then in season 6, because it was the last season, I would bring back a lot of their old launches from United and Supreme. And then for the plot and the story, I've always written them far in advance. I think the very first draft of the Beyblade X story I wrote was actually when the only Beyblades that were out were the first wave, Shark Edge, and Night Lance. There have been so many Beyblades that have come out since then. I've like obviously been forced to rewrite it because you can't predict what Beyblades are going to come out in the future.
Do you think current plans for the series still line up with the end credit scene for the Prime finale?
Well, I like intentionally wrote the Prime finale credit scene to be like vague so that like it doesn't imply anything really specific happening in the story other than the owner of Drawn Sword going to find the owner of Wizard Arrow / Night Shield. I think the first 2 episodes of the story have stayed consistent for the most part. I don't think the first 2 episodes of the story have changed in like 2 years. It's mostly what happens after the main character team is formed that has changed, like, a lot.
What video do you think have you had the most difficult or interesting production process on?
I think it's definitely the episodes where I would, like, try something that I've never done before and try to do it without any help or any tutorials. Like, there's some of us, I think it was season 6, episodes 7 and 8, where I tried to do impact frames. And it's like obviously very like effortless impact frames. Like I didn't put my blood, sweat, and tears into it. It took me like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But figuring out how to like do new stuff, that always gives me a hard time.
You are or are not doing more of that in the X series?
I'd say like 90% of the concepts in the Beyblade X series are stuff I've never done before. It is my main mission to make it as different from the Burst series as possible, but still feel like it's a part of that same universe.
Have you thought of how you're gonna attempt to do extreme dashes and like effects for that? That's kind of been like an ongoing like discussion between like me and Z and a couple others.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, the X generation is the Beys are kind of hard to film, not gonna lie. Z tried his hand at it in Team Foresters, and I thought it turned out pretty good, lots of the effects for that. You know, everybody's gonna interpret it differently, so it's like, it's gonna be interesting.
I feel like I can like say that this applies to everyone. When we imagine how the battle will look in our heads, it's so clean, and then when we try to film it, it just does not go that way at all.
Yep.
Like we have a clear image in our heads of how we would edit the extreme dash. But then because of how unpredictable the bays are in the stadium, it's like next to impossible to get it to go how you visioned it. So I do know how I want to do the extreme dash. I have like 5 different ways I've thought of it. And I want to do every single one of them because I think they'd all be really cool. I want you to like really feel the speed of the extreme dash because I feel like the anime does not do that very well. It starts going on the extreme rail and takes like 10 seconds to actually hit the other bay. And then everyone in the crowd's like, oh, what just happened? I could barely see it. And it's just like, what?
Everyone acts so shocked that someone pulls out an extreme dash when the stadium...
You should be so used to that by now.
Yeah, literally the system is built to do that.
The stadium is designed for that.
I know it's a bit controversial, but I kind of get a bit tired of Kamen X. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of get a bit tired of him, like, as a character, because it seems like lots of his battles just, like, turn into that.
I was always defending him because I was like, I never imagined that he would stay the exact same character for this long.
Like, he has cool
he is
style.
Literally,
it's just that, like,
he has not changed.
at all.
He's so boring because he just always wins.
That's the thing. It's so much more interesting, in my opinion, to follow Bird because he actually
because there's stakes.
He changes a lot, and it's the same thing with Multi too. Like even though she does have a kind of high win rate, she at least has like
she still loses
lots of like character development, and you don't know how her battle's gonna go.
And she's fun to watch because the way she wins is always smart. Like she's very strategic. I like his personality. Like, he reminds me of Gojo. Anytime I'm watching him battle, I just immediately become uninterested unless I know that it's gonna have good animation because I'm like, I already know how this is gonna go.
So I actually have another interview question. It's kind of like, I feel like we already talked about it. You can talk whatever you want about future projects, and you can be as in-depth or as vague as you want.
I have to be careful because I don't want to like say too little where they're like, that's a boring ass answer, but whatever I don't want to give away
and if you want me to cut something out in post-production, I can.
Okay, supernatural abilities, underground secret society cult. I don't want to say too much. I'm basing one of the main characters heavily off of Rudo Surebrek. He's the main character of Gachi Akuta, so if you know anything about him or don't, then do with that what you will. another one of the main characters. He will be heavily focused on like playing instruments. Like it's a very big part of his character and it's incorporated into his battles. He plays the drums, visualizing music during his battles. Kind of like, which Blader was it from Burst Season 1? They had the headphones. You know what I'm talking about?
Orochi Genba?
The guy who had Odin.
Yeah.
Think of like that, but like instead of hearing really well, it's like music based.
Are you gonna add like any special visuals for that or overlays?
Yes, definitely. Connor plays the drums, so I really want to make that an integral part of his character. Another one of the main characters has an identity crisis, so he has like two people living in the same body, and he can't really control who is in control.
Like almost like a...
Kind of.
I might cut that out. I don't want to give JoJo spoilers here.
Oh, actually, yeah.
And you said those are those like main characters or like more relevant side characters?
Okay, because I don't know how long it'll be before like a lot of the big stuff gets revealed, I will just say I am talking about like the main character team. Hell's Drawn, Knight, and Wizard. And then the supernatural abilities, those are tied to objects, not Beyblades. And then those objects tie to Beyblades. Yeah, I think I'm not going to say anymore because anything else would be very big spoilers.
That's already crazy. That's crazy information. Will you have like a central kind of villain? Or are you going to do like more of a similar approach to X where they just kind of advanced to fight Burn? What approach are you taking with like antagonists?
So think of like Phi and Hearts' roles in Turbo. Think of there being like several Hearts, but one Phi, like an overarching villain. The overarching villain spreads across all seasons / short films because I haven't decided how I'm going to format it yet. And some supernatural objects can influence personality in positive or negative ways. Actually, no, I think I've actually changed that since then. I think it's now the ability the object gives your Beyblade is actually based on your personality. So like a hot-headed type of guy would be more prone to have a very aggressive ability to his Beyblade.
Is resonance still a thing or not?
Like having a bond with your Beyblade?
Yeah, wasn't that like more of a thing in the Burst series or?
Yeah, that's not very relevant to the story anymore. It's more about the Bladers, not the Beys themselves.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's a lot of information about X Legacy.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer it's gonna be before like the major info gets revealed, so I'm just like throwing out all the stuff I'm willing to
little details here and there.
Yeah. Subscribe to Hatchstick Studios and BliX. Your life will improve.
Your life will change.
You will start finding more $1 bills on the street, and people will be nicer to you because like you just have a better aura around you when you're subscribed to us.
You don't know it yet, but you are prone to win the lottery, actually.
That is actually also true. I am now a billionaire because I subscribed to myself on my alt account.
Stay tuned for more videos from the both of us. All right, bye guys.
Peace.
It's not a game. I'm not a robot.